We can go live, by the way. So we're going
Let's
live
go.
we're going live on YouTube, and we are. Let's see if I can. If I can. Yeah, I can see it. Hello.
How do
Hey,
you blur the picture or whatever, do background bullshit?
I
We're
don't
live,
know.
Jakub, so you figure that out.
I didn't blur anything. Hello, Yanka. Right there. It's okay. No,
How
don't
can
worry.
I not have my friendly cottage in the mountains here? Shit.
Because you're not on
Cut.
Google.
You're
Matej,
on
can
a
you give us an
Google.
intro? Can you give us an intro, and then we'll just let Jakub do his tech management?
Yeah, because I did the tech management last year. Oh, hello, Mister. I'm a little one. Oh my God, this is perfect. It's
Wow.
running around.
Free marketing.
Yeah, free marketing. Hello, everyone. This is Ask Me Anything, the third episode, because this is live. So you can live ask your questions. You can see Jakub's misery and his son running around.
This is what stress looks like because
It's
he's trying to
stressful.
figure out
Yeah,
how to get a
exactly.
background.
Exactly. And I need to go and put live the LinkedIn live because I didn't go live as intended, but it's fine because now I know how to set it. Oh, I don't. Yeah. Okay. So it's too late again. No, it's okay. It's fine. Maybe it's gonna go and go live. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see about that. So guys, we have a few things nice, few things already. Hello everybody, I see the chat and everything, so yeah, you can ask questions. Oof, 3 questions right away. Jeez, this is nice. Should I start reading the questions? Jakub, are you ready?
I don't
Hello.
think he is.
Hello. High five.
Cheap camera
Yeah.
blurring, basically.
Chief camera blue.
Hello,
Yeah, just
Ezgi. Yeah, like hello, Ezgi from Turkey. Yeah. All right.
hello. Yeah, okay. So stop. We can stop this bullshit. We have all. Hey, nice. Okay, so we have questions already. So first question is for testing hybrid. Any approach to speed up testing phase for hybrid development? Let's say we develop a playable with partial gameplay, then we can test the core loop meta, and then we can add more hybrid monetization or any approach that can speed up the more on the testing phase. Okay.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it always starts with the core. Like core is pretty much a reflection of the day one kind of retention. So you can't really speed it up, to be honest, because hybrid is just like a prolonged hyper casual development, basically. So always starts with the core. If there's not core working, uh, basically there's nothing else to test there. So it's, you can't test core and meta and partial gameplay. Yeah, you need to have full-fledged core, and and you can't half-ass it, because if you half-ass the core and just put like one part of the core, it won't be having the full retention profile of like a fully fleshed out core. So basically, do your core properly, and once you have your core, you can continue, because it's much easier to build from a stronger core than anything else, especially in hybrid. Like we've seen that, like in many games we covered that.
I have no idea what you just said, by the way.
No idea either.
Yeah.
Core gameplay.
Are you a little bit distracted, maybe?
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
looks a bit
distracted. Let's go to second question.
Yeah, there's a second question. Any book, documentation, consulting services? Oh, by the way, Jakub is a consultant. I'm a consultant as well, and Felix is a consultant as well. Ad monetization versus Jakub game design, and I'm the UA person. So maybe you can talk to Jakub, but as you see, he's quite distracted. I'm not sure if he has enough time.
Yeah, actually, there's 2 books that I always can recommend people.
I don't think he was listening.
To do, and it's basically Advanced Game Design by Michael Sellers. I don't have anything in like this is basically my recommendation. I don't know the person, but I read the book and I think it's great regarding like just getting on ramp with game design and some of the pretty much what you said there. But this is more, even though it's called advanced, it's not really advanced. I would say it's more of an introduction and basics. And then actually there's this other book called Game Balance, which is from Ian Schreiber and Brenda Romero. That's the wife of the Romero guy who did Doom. She's, I think, a game design professor. And don't laugh
Romero
at this.
guy who
It's,
did.
it's
I
like
know who's
800
The
Romero.
pages
wife
book,
of the
man.
Doom Maker. All right, cool.
Yeah.
It's 800 pages thick. It's very, very big. As I said, called Game Balance, and it has very specific chapters that go into balancing specific curves, specific progression meta, specific meta game engine. So I think that's the pinnacle of what I've seen. These two books regarding what I would recommend.
Pinnacle.
Yeah, pinnacle.
You mean
Pineapple.
Bacon, pinnacle.
Jeez. Okay. Any other documentation or anything consulting services, Jakub? It was.
That's basically it. Like you have specific graphs in those books, like
Mm.
shown as examples. I don't think so. I've seen anything more robust than these two. Yeah.
Why haven't you said anything about stealing from other people, like games, copying with pride, stealing with pride?
No, this is to learn. You cannot
Oh.
steal if you don't master the thing in the first place.
Okay.
Yeah, fair. It's fair enough.
Otherwise, you're just copying. You don't know what, and then you end up in our favorite goulash.
Favorite goulash right there. Okay, nice.
I mean, ad monetization is a lot easier. You just have to, know what it is and then just be angry.
And copy.
It's okay.
Okay.
You can copy whatever after you know what you're actually copying, right?
So, what kind of game would you make to generate $1 million as a small team without a lot of experience?
Ooh.
Sounds like the usual get-rich-quick scheme.
Yeah.
Watch our episode on Doodle Magic and basically make that into a Western game. And if you do that in the next couple of months, you probably will make $1 million at least every month, easily.
Yeah, we'll be covering that game closely, even this week. Like one of the, let's say, successors of that. But
is that a success though?
It's definitely success.
No.
Yeah.
Save it for the podcast.
Okay.
Because I have pickles to pick.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
because...
but $1 million is a small team. Like basically, the only option that you have in today's market is hyper casual train has, sailed away. So not really.
Wait. Don't you remember the episode we did with Sam with Less More? And
Less More. You can go Less More way.
Yeah, they're making a lot of money.
But don't forget that Sam at some point said that they have a lot of contracting people, which is not Less More.
No, but yes, I know. But
yeah,
I think that's okay. But the thing is, the less, not a lot of experience, that's the problem. Not a small team or contractors.
But to be honest, like VR Warriors is literally the closest to the example that you mentioned here. Whoever's asking the question, get rich quick scheme because the game's a viral sensation and it's easy to build. It's easy to build, but they know very well how they build it. It's not easy to design. It's easy to build. That's two different things.
Yeah, that's true. We have another question. It's like, what's the best way to scale a subscription app like Headway from 200 euros per day to $1,000 per day on Facebook ads? Jesus Christ. Oh, okay.
Facebook is still a thing, huh?
Facebook is still a thing. Yeah, it is still a thing for any game or app out there. It can work to a certain extent. You just need to know like what exactly works, which is now kind of like static AI images made from Midjourney and like refreshing quite quickly. But back to the question it's a very broad and I would say very bad question. We kind of need a lot of different KPIs from your end. But let's say we have great product, which is at least the same quality as Headway, and we have all the events. We have, let's say, free trials, I guess, subscription, then events. So then we kind of build up scan conversion schema around the subscription. Then we connect that to Facebook, since I kind of assume anyway you're making 70 or 80% revenue on iOS, almost like every other app out there. And then you target the US mainly, and then some tier 1 countries. Anything else outside doesn't make any sense. So that's Facebook, and then you scale, and then you could refresh creatives on a weekly, maybe bi-weekly basis, and then like every third, fourth day, you increase the budget by 20-30%. That's the question was kind of around this. I would add other channels, not only Facebook, because Facebook won't get you that far. In my opinion, I think you would need to add Apple Search Ads, obviously, and then TikTok and Google as well, and then think about maybe some other channels outside of these traditional ones.
I'm just thinking, like, if
I'm not going to add anything to this because I don't know.
Yeah.
If I'm already like, because you never said like how to increase the spend. You said like how do you actually use Facebook and stuff, all these, but why do I increase the spend then, or how?
You know,
Just
like
throw
you
a
open
bunch of
up the
money into it?
dashboard. Yeah, open up the dashboard and click instead of 200, you put 250. That's how you increase the spend.
But then, like, if ROAS gets worse, then what?
Then, well, in this case, you can use the caps, or like cost caps, bid caps, or min ROAS kind of things, which will not guarantee you the quality or the ROAS, but it should give Facebook enough pointers to actually have at least, let's say, 20% ROAS or 10% ROAS or 50% ROAS. Or 50 is quite aggressive, so you will most probably spend like €5.
So how to downscale?
How to downscale? No, like, you need to play around with these options on the targeting side.
Okay.
So it's, and then you open up and then you just put. Why are we making fun of ads, Facebook ads? Well, most probably, if you didn't get the memo, it's not performing that well across the games. It's really expensive. There are better channels in terms of performance outside of Facebook. So that's why we're making fun of it a little bit.
Yeah.
We have more questions. I mean, this.
Yeah, basically, I want to say here.
in.
So basically, one question here we got from Prompto. Would you even make a game nowadays without much money for performance marketing? Can I just tell a little anecdote before you answer that, Matej? Because basically, I've been invited now when I live in Lisbon to this weekly meetup for app makers. So I have a breakfast. I had the first breakfast with these like 4 other app makers.
You finally started eating breakfast? Oh my God, it's perfect.
Yeah, well, it's for friends. I don't have a lot of friends yet. Anyway, so it's for friends, but like, we were sitting and discussing it, and I was asking them like how they're doing new app development right now. And it sounded a lot to me like app development is getting a big renaissance. How they're all doing it is that they have small teams, they look at keywords, and then do sprints for 3 weeks. So basically, they come up with 3 keywords that are trending right now in the app stores. Then basically, they use AI products to make. So an example here is like, one guy was like, yeah, I saw this Bible reading app was trending, and the keywords for Bible reading app was trending in Mexico and America. So basically, in 1 week, I whipped together a Bible reading app and basically made all the artwork and all the content in AI.
Yeah.
And basically just threw it up there, and it took 14 days. And now I'm getting tons of organic like inbound. And I'm just like, wow, that sounds a lot like hyper casual used to sound. And I'm just like, and then like
apps?
the hyper casual games, how they're making them right back in the day. I'm just wondering now with the AI stuff, because like I'm looking forward to going to this breakfast again. I want to ask more questions about it, but I'm like, that's interesting.
Finally, some food. No.
Yeah, so that's why I was thinking about it, because then performance marketing, I was like, maybe it's like the meme with the cat. I was like, maybe I should make an app.
Yeah, maybe you should make an app. Yeah, it's exactly like maybe.
Matej, we should make an app. How was that?
Yeah, terrible. So yeah, it's like, oh, let's do a match 3 because it's the LTV is absolutely never ending, and it's a great idea. Well, I have no idea. I have zero experience in building games, and especially match 3. So most probably no. Well, it doesn't make that much of a sense if you don't have. Well, it depends on what's like much money. I mean, if you don't have any money, then you can still
do a Steam game.
Yeah.
You can
do a Steam game, and they develop it for 7 years. No, like jokes aside, you can do it. The funny thing about this, what you just mentioned, Felix, is in the gaming space, like TikTok now, you can get quite a lot of organic views even though you are just very small. You can use and try to find examples of dumb ways to die. Duolingo is doing quite well on like organic TikTok posts and getting loads of impressions. With this, you can get quite a lot of organic downloads as well. It's not going to work immediately, and it takes a lot of time. Of course, Dumb Ways to Die and Duolingo, they have their own marketing teams that are actually developing all this like content. But you can do it on your own, and you don't need like huge budgets. If it's gonna be a sure shot, most probably no. But you have a chance. You have all the Reddits and all of the like different forums. You can actually get some traffic or some exposure. But then you definitely need some money to start running a UA and getting the players and measuring the LTVs and everything. So yeah, I mean, much money. If much money is like 100,000 euros, no, but at least like 5, 10, 20K, yes, which is bare minimum in my opinion.
Next one.
Yeah.
Can we develop Playable only instead of the game? Then we can run UA on that and test the motivation meta. Motivation meta? What's that? Instead of speed ton of money for developing an MVP.
Yes, you can. The Playable only, you need to still kind of send the players somewhere. With Playables as a creative format, you need to have an app in the store. What you can do, you can actually use that Playable and kind of have it as like a standalone game, and then measure the KPIs and then the retention as well. And you don't need like a proper MVP, but whatever you call MVP can be MVP. Just send traffic to game and then just test it out.
Yeah, it's possible, definitely. We were doing even less before, like developing game based on creative just only.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you can do all these fake store tests and marketability tests, and I do that all the time. But then if you have the game or the APK on the store already, then you can run the CPI campaigns. So that means you will get the real CPI and not the fake CPI, or you don't need to calculate it. So this is the closest to the truth that you can get.
With Playable, yeah.
With Playable, and then like using the Playable in like the actual game, even if it's very small.
How much users should my campaigns convert before I can be confident with the game metrics to make kill or not decision? How long do ad networks algorithms need to become reliable? Never.
Never. Yeah. The mushroom theory. Anyway, so
my mushroom theory.
Your mushroom theory. Yeah, your mushroom theory.
So quote it.
Yeah, you can do that afterwards. So back to the question. So I usually using the soft launch like 200 players per day from each campaign, just to be able to say that these results are statistically significant. Anything between 200 to 500 is well, nice to have. Like minimum, like bare minimum is 100 daily installs from the campaign to be able to say, okay, this is statistically significant.
Not organic, yeah.
Non-organic, not organic, like from the campaign itself. And ideally, if you have campaigns that are kind of targeting geos in, let's say, 3 geos in one campaign, ideal scenario, you have 100 daily installs from each geo, so you can compare the results and then check them. Because if you have like 20 users from, let's say, Poland, and then 50 from Slovakia, and then you have 40 from Sweden, then it's 100 and 100 plus, but it's still the results are
just 50 Matejs and 50 Felixes.
And where's Jakub? 20 Jakubs? 20
I'm
Jakubs?
not doing UA.
Since when Felix is doing UA?
Yeah.
So like, how long do ad networks need to become reliable? Like, it's not like how long, it's based on the number of events. So usually, let's say the Facebook 50 events in last 7 days, Google 15 events per day, or 10 to 15 events per day. Uplavin has what I think 10 unique purchases per day. So it depends, but it's quite a lot of events, not like how long it takes. It needs to be, let's say, events in the last 7 days. Let's go
Okay.
that way.
What should be playable content in terms of duration for hybrid casual prototype? I would say it needs to be at least a little bit engaging. So you need to be able to click on stuff, lots of visual feedback, lots of, like, for instance, check the playables of Whiteout Survival. I think those are pretty good, or some kind of other similar ones where there's like lots of moving parts on the screen and lots of visual feedback after every click. But do I get that right, that you don't need anything regarding the core there? Or are we testing it now or something like that? Because there's nothing like the core regarding Whiteout Survival. Matej and Felix is taking over the buffer.
No, I'm just reading the questions.
Let me say my famous quote that I say when I don't know. Shit, I can't even spell that.
No, but honestly, have a lot of visual feedback on the screen in the playable. I think you can't go wrong with that. So whenever you press something or do something, you're pretty much kind of showing the user that he's having an impact on the gameplay screen.
But it's
what? But that's the thing. Like, check, the creatives of Whiteout Survival. Like, one click and second click, and suddenly you have the whole city build up. That's the thing.
Okay. But then, what kind of data are you measuring that prototype?
If it's
playtime,
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Session time. Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
We'll see. What is the difference in effectiveness between Facebook lookalike ads and normal ads for user acquisition in games? Which type perform better?
I'm not sure, like, what are normal ads and lookalike ads? Like, what is this all about? Non-fake. Yeah, well, if this is so, I please like a little bit unpack this question if you can. I can assume if this is lookalike targeting or lookalike, or you mean like fake creatives and videos like copied, or like, let's call it, heavily inspired by other games, or normal. I'm not sure like what's normal. So please, if you can comment on that, that would be great, because I have no fucking idea.
Okay. What should be average playable content duration of hyper casual game?
Do you know what should be the playable content? No. We don't have the benchmarks from the publishers, right? So I think but I think John was kind of touching on that in the last AMA. So maybe if you can go there and check it out, then you will learn a little bit more. Or the one that we did with him in London.
Yeah, I think he touched somewhere there. Okay.
Touched you?
Collapsible banner app, open with audio ads. Should time be invested, develop, and test these steps? How much revenue upside we can expect from these, assuming a puzzle game genre? Oh, this is Mr. Ed guy.
Yeah, it's Mr. Ed. Yeah, but I'm not sure if he's listening. Look.
Ion.
Yeah.
Okay, so audio ads. They will never earn you more than 8 to 12% on your overall ad revenue, right? You can increase it slightly if you're doing audio ads that are also inside of your rewarded loop, but that makes it a bit more like difficult to implement them. But I've never seen audio ads take more than anywhere between 8 to 12%, and is usually in hyper casual where they saw their most, and I haven't seen it really scaled beyond that. So I don't think you should count on audio ads as like the thing that makes you a lot of money. Banner is always dependent on one thing, and that is session length. So how long can you show your banner ads? So you will not really earn significant amount of money that actually impacts your LTV unless you can show pretty much anywhere between 80 to 120 banner ads per session to about 70 to 80% of the users. So what does that look like, right? So
your
that
eyes
means
will be bleeding.
No, impossible, right? So look at your session length. So basically, that's the kind of metric I usually tell people to aim for, because banner ads is high volume and high frequency and low value per banner ad, right? The kind of trick here is usually that most publishers put banner ads at the bottom. Why? Because it increases with misclicks. There's research done that basically something crazy like 40 to 50% of banner clicks are misclicks. But essentially, like, yeah,
Literally
I don't
exists
know.
because of misclicks.
Exactly, misclicks. Yeah, so that's why people tend to put it at the bottom. It's not to make it more annoying; it's to get misclicks, not to
Okay.
make it more annoying. But it pays higher, right? Because CTR factors into eCPM.
So then
App
it's easy.
opener.
Just design the whole app around the banner with all the buttons stitching around it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So app open ads is having a renaissance. It's performing quite interestingly. I'm launching it with a new client right now, but I'm hearing from other people who are currently using it that you can get eCPMs in the States on app open ads anywhere from $12 to $20, depending on your user base, which is really interesting. That's on the app open ads format done by Google, which is the favored one because it's a bit less aggressive than the AppLovin one. So AppLovin also does app open ads, but what they do is they just pool their interstitial formats and basically just take that in. So it's like a 15-second, 5-second closable video that covers the whole screen. And whereas the Google one, it's a splash screen that covers 70% of the screen, which performs better. There's no competition on that one though, but it's still performing quite nicely. Not sure what else to say here, but from a puzzle genre game, I would expect 70% of ad revenue to come from interstitials and rewarded put together. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Why are you making fun of Facebook?
Yeah,
ads
we already
channel?
covered that.
Yeah,
Don't
we
worry.
covered that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jakub, we recently launched an idle game with ESO Corp called Money Bounce. Currently at 1 million downloads. Day 1 is 30%, but our day 7 is only 3. Any tips, feedback on how to improve day 7? Yeah. So
More ads.
no.
Wait a second.
No.
I'm not sure if I'm recording. Let's see. Maybe I need to redid the. No, because
You're
sabotage the stream.
no, I don't know.
We're
Sure.
live.
If the guys
We're
like,
live. We're
yeah,
still live.
I know, but it's not recording. So I mean, I have no idea. I mean, it's I don't need to be recorded, so it's fine. But you're gonna be recorded.
Remia was just about to let us know how we turn rock into gold.
Yes. So can we continue then?
1 sec. Jesus. I mean, I guess, guys, let us know if everything is working. If not, then we need to restart this again. But it's okay. We can.
But it's live. I still see live.
Yeah, I still see it live. Yeah, I still see it live, but I don't see recording, and it's something happened in this fucking terrible.
No. I think we're okay. We're okay. Anyway, so turning grog to gold. So what you do is the day 1 already. What you said there is low. So I would start with the core, because if it's 30% for core gameplay and day 1 is a reflection of core gameplay, it seems it's already subpar. And this pretty much translates to your day 7. So rather than just going on features with day 7 or whatever metagame features, I would return to the core and trying to put it 40% plus. And I mean, going back to the core mean having drastic changes, drastic simplifications, cut out features, cut out systems that doesn't add value, or put it into different context. I don't know. There's many possibilities how to do these things, but I would definitely return to the core rather than start building day 7. You need to have much bigger core, because sometimes, and I've seen cores, literally just core gameplays without any metagame features, that could translate into like day 7 10% just by having a very good and engaging core. So just saying. Okay. Continuing there. Hi guys, what are the challenges for game makers to switch from IAP monetization to hybrid monetization?
IAA monetization.
IAA. Okay, so that's Felix one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felix one. Of course, it's Felix one.
The hardest thing is starting, but the beautiful thing about this, right, and I'm sure Jakub can help me out here on like normal design features, is that basically, exactly like in your question, it's completely different monetization model, right? So you need to have completely different metrics or completely different things inside of your game. But the hardest thing is usually starting, right? Like what are usually the easiest steps to make from my perspective would be, adding some sort of economy. Jakub, I'm sure you have something to say here about like the normal game features. Usually the main one also is just starting with having some kind of SKU to remove ads. Sometimes game developers don't have that. So that's the easiest thing to get started. That usually
But
will
it's like
get you
it's
1 or 2%.
very basic, no? Like it's.
But this is a game design question, really.
Depends. Yeah, it's like game design pretty much is the monetization.
Are you a consultant? Like you always say, hey, it depends.
So
let me say something.
Let me get this straight. So you need progression. Usually,
thing.
IAA games, like only ad revenue games, they don't have that much kind of a progression. So think like permanent value added, permanent things that translate between levels. That you're building towards something. Your character level increases, your power, XP, whatever index number increases. So once you have that, you build stuff around that, which means there are multiple kind of engines in progression systems that you can use to scale some stuff. So let's say our typical very favorite one is HP damage. Everybody use that. So you increase the HP of the enemies and you increase the player damage and player HP and vice versa. And numbers just increase, but it's the same game all the time. Then you have level-based engines, which is just create more levels and more mechanics into that. Then you have literally visual engines, which doesn't do shit. It's literally just pictures unlock and they are different, and this is it. Like for instance, Mob Control has this kind of a metagame engine, or Block Jam. And yeah, there's many possibilities how to do these things, but start with progressions so you know that you have enough content for, let's say, day 7, day 30, and it's different. It's not that I'm playing the same thing all over again. That will be the first thing.
But I guess the challenge is also the skill set is different.
Yeah, skill set is different because you need to have product-based skill set, which means systems and vectors. Against core gameplay and ads.
Yeah, okay. Then there is question how to scale ads from 100K to 200K a month to millions of dollars a month and still profit in the long run. That's the golden that's the golden equation. I have 150% ROAS on day 30 when I spend 10K per day. I'm going to spend million a day and we will have the same ROAS on day 30. That's not how it works. So again, CPI versus LTV equation. So the profit in the long run, I guess how this works is when you have a small budget, you're targeting the core audience. As soon as you expand the budget, then the targeting's it's going wide. And you are targeting also people that are not that much interested in your game, and then therefore like your CPI is growing as well, and then LTV kind of maybe stays the same or even goes a little bit lower because of the wide audience. So then it doesn't need to be always going from 100K a month to millions a month possible, because the LTV won't allow it, and your LTV is always the ceiling of the scale. So, and then it's all about you figuring out the margins and how quickly you want to recoup the spend. So let's say you have this 100K per month spent and you see returns in 30 days. But if you go and spend 1 million a month and you still can get the money back, let's say in 6 months, and you are okay with it, then there you go. Then you just start spending a little bit more, and then like the payback period kind of prolongs afterwards. The thing is, then the long-term retention goes into this equation as well. So you need to be very sure that you are not aiming for 1 year payback period, and then after 6 months, nobody's playing the game.
Okay.
Or if it's actually about an in-app monetization, pretty simple, right? You just need to show, if you want to make 100K a day, you need to show about 30 million interstitial ads.
Your eyes are not bleeding. They're nowhere to be
and
seen.
if you want to make 100K with banner ads, you need to show about 600 million a day. And if you want to make it with rewarded, you need to show about 25 to 30 million rewarded ads a day. And that's how you make 100K in current.
Okay,
You go pick your next one, Felix. It's admin one.
it is.
All right, so
It is, yeah.
it is.
I can
Okay,
make
so
it.
try. Yeah, you want to read it? So I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Sagi. Admin question. Trying to add networks, all the new networks interstitials get plus 40% CTR. Users fail to close the ad.
Yeah.
How come anyone uses those ads? They have amazing ECPNs but destroy the retention.
Oh, hello. That's what we discussed on the latest
Sagi,
podcast.
Sagi, like, oh, the boon of my existence. Like, this is such a painful conversation to have because this is a constant cat and mouse game. And 40% CTR sounds really low in today's day and age because, some CTRs are up to like 60 to 80%, right? And, users having started clicking on more ads is just the end cards and the ad experience has gotten a lot worse.
Misclicks.
Yeah, misclicks. The sad truth is that basically there's nothing you can do for the long term to ensure that basically networks adhere to less aggressive formats because the arms race has already happened. So basically it's in AppLovin, Unity's, and everyone's of their own like shareholder price interest to basically make the ad experience as bad in terms of user experience as possible because they make higher margins and more money, right? And the only way you can get out of this is basically you send them emails and saying that this is the end card format that we accept and this is what you have to adhere to, and we will ensure parity on with every other user. So no network will lift. I even had an example where AppLovin, I tried to do this with a client and then they were like, I emailed them first and they were like, we'll do it last, and refused to change anything until the other networks had changed it. It's kind of funny. It's just super aggressive, right? But like,
yeah,
the sad thing is, like, I've done this on really big clients that have a lot of clout, right? That like clients that they wouldn't want to mess around with. But then what started happening was like a month in, like suddenly I was seeing 1 minute, King like royal match ads from this one network, and I was like, guys, what's going on? And they were like, oh, San Francisco is just testing some things. And you guys are in the test group. So I'm like, great, thank you. I don't want to be in the test groups. Like, you can't opt out of it. I'm like, great. So it's a constant cat and mouse thing that you have to do, unfortunately. And you just have to constantly message. So one of the things I do is I watch ads in my clients' apps from now to time is to see what kind of end card templates. But you should run tests on this. And then you should not let them get away with it. It's easier if you're bigger because then they listen to you. It's really hard if you're small. But yeah. That's the kind of day and age we live in.
So there's a comment. By the way, like it's great that you kind of missed their name on purpose when we recorded, but now when it's live, you say the name of the network immediately. So that's just like, I mean, great move, great move, Felix. Yeah. Anyway,
so from AppLovin is listening. They usually text me. And it's like, that's not true.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So we have a comment like you need to do a segment about different types of new monetization platforms that is happening in the industry. I have no idea what this is all about. Tell me. What kind of new monetization platforms are you referring to? Web shops?
Steam.
Oh, I mean, it's not the new monetization platform, you fucking fuck. Like, seriously? Like, jeez. Anyway, this is good kind of comment about what we should do, and we are definitely listening. So if you have any ideas or anything that we should definitely cover, I think you noticed that we started doing this like our podcast twice a week. So we have so many new things, concepts, and ideas in our heads, going from something like this. Obviously, like this is the third time, and we're gonna do it every month for an hour. And then we'll play other games and record and chat during the games, and we will have different guests maybe playing those games with us and discussing things. And then we will have Jakub's son coming on the podcast as well.
But you can also email us if you want us to do anything. You see our emails down here.
Go into Slack.
Exactly, that's what I would say. Just join our Slack channel,
Yeah.
which is now, let's see how many people. It's like almost
nearly
2,000.
1.5K.
I wanted to say 2,000. Yeah, it's 1,400 people. So you're always
getting there.
welcome. Yeah, always welcome there. So yeah, if you can specify this in the comments, it would be great.
Okay. Hey guys, what amount of money would you recommend to start in a mobile game dev with a small team from scratch? I have some background with subscription apps, UAS or development, but really interested in games.
Well, I can tell you, you can start. Well, are you going to do the development by yourself, or I guess game dev team from scratch? So I think what I have now discussed with different studios around the world is you can get the game prototype or like an MVP or maybe even like soft launch ready type of game for like 30 to 40,000 in 5 months, which seems like reasonable.
Outsourced, basically. Yeah.
Outsourced, which is outsourced. Yeah. So a small team depends on how much money you're going to pay yourself to survive, obviously, because you're not going to make any money first. But then most probably, yeah. So anything, yeah, 30, 40, 50K. But the thing is, like, yeah, it depends on like where you're based as well.
Also depends on seniority of the people actually doing the thing, because
Yes.
I've seen, for instance, outsourced development go horribly wrong where the source code was literally unusable. It's not like a silver bullet, so keep that in mind also. Okay.
Mr. Expert on source code.
Yeah. I've seen a game that I worked on, and it had to be literally killed because the source code went so shitty that they wouldn't be able to update it. I was in that situation.
So
Killed the whole studio, by the way.
But how come this
You want to name and
happen?
shame this dev studio?
No, I'm not name shaming. I'm just saying I've seen it happen.
No name shaming, but like how can you
screw up your
this?
source code so much?
Yeah.
You do shitty mistakes because you hard code stuff, you don't do it modularly, you don't refactor, you don't like
and you don't have colleagues that can help you with that,
if
like
they're on
doing
the
the job.
senior parity, then
we're
everybody's in the
fucked.
bubble. Yeah, then we're fucked. Moving on. How long would you say it takes to test an experienced studio like a Stoti or Segame Studios to build a hybrid prototype ready for testing?
He told us this.
3 months, no?
Yeah, 3 months.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
think
they said.
Anton said 3 months. I would expect that. You need to keep in mind that they have all the tooling and the automation and the processes throughout the years acquired in the studio on their disposal. So
that's what I asked.
Those are completely different 3 months than yours 3 months.
Yeah, that's what I asked. Like, okay, well, and he said, Anton said on the latest episode that they have all these internal automation tools or tools for automation. Like, it should be a crime, I guess. It helps a lot to speed up the process.
If you're a good publisher, you have literally like the features team or like the tooling team that just make tools, no games, just tooling. That's it. Okay.
Ooh, Felix, for you. Macs have rolled out 5-second banner refresh beta. CPMs are down 30 to 40%. Impressions 70-80%. Got decent upsides in revenue for now, but going ahead, will these updates sustain, as the CTR have also dropped?
Where are you reading that? It's okay. So yeah.
In the meantime, I can answer that.
So basically, okay, let me figure out how to answer that. So
yeah,
I cannot confirm or deny the existence of a 5-second refresh rate now available on AppLovin Max, because
this is just a statement.
Cannot confirm it or not. So one thing that I've known from working in Admon for 8 years is that Google has always said that you should be very cautious testing anything below 10 seconds refresh rate, because their algorithms might show that it's basically fraud or fraudulent traffic or invalid traffic. I've heard some developers potentially having nice upsides from moving down to 5-second refresh rates. I've also heard of some developers not choosing to go down that route because of the risks that could happen, right? So, yeah, I mean, I personally haven't tried it. The risks are that basically exactly what you outlined here, right? Basically, eCPMs are down, but basically overall the rev goes up because you're showing a lot more impressions. Personally, I've been asked this question a couple times if I want to do it. And usually I've said is no. I said let other people do the testing for us and let's see what it looks like in 3 months.
Last.
Yeah, yeah. Because the issue is like the thing how these algorithms work, right? If you get, there's another question coming down the line about like ad mob invalid traffic.
Yeah.
If you get marked as invalid traffic, there's 3, 4, 5 months there. You're not getting Google demand, for example, and that can kill you, right?
Yeah, that's very
So
slippery
the
as well.
same thing I say about like SDK updates. You don't want to be the developer that does the SDK update first. You want to be like a month in and checking what's going on, right? So if developers I'm seeing trends that in like 4 months is still staying the same, yeah, I'm going to try 5 seconds, absolutely. But I'm a bit cautious because of my historic stories about it. So yeah, but if it works for you, keep it on, right? Like, good for you, get the money.
Let's speed up a little bit so we can kind of.
We have 15 more minutes. It's okay.
Yeah,
and all the questions are unanswered are going to be answered in the Slack channel. So
yeah, they can be answered. Go there and paste them there. We can answer them there. What's the best UA channel right now, Matej?
Yeah, well,
Google. Moving on.
Okay.
Google for Android, AppLovin for iOS. Thank you very much for listening.
Go.
Next one.
Next one.
By normal ads, I mean like CPI ads, which are run by publishers or general demographics and look like I mean.
That's for the follow-up question from before.
Yeah, that's a follow-up. Yeah. Okay. So broad targeting, basically, broad targeting versus the lookalike ads. It's in this kind of situation, I always use broad targeting and no lookalikes. And it's also kind of tied to the stage where I am with the different game. But honestly, broad works better because of the potential reach of the campaign, and then let the creative different creative angles do the targeting for you instead of lookalikes.
Okay. How do I get out of the AdMob invalid traffic trap?
That's what Felix just. Well, how
do I get out of it? All right. So the painful thing is that in Google, that usually happens when, like, the most time that you're getting invalid traffic is either if you're running fraud at a big level, or if when you're a small like user base that you're clicking on your own ads. So basically, if you're a small user base and you click on your own ads, usually you'll be done in for invalid traffic. The easiest way to get out of the invalid traffic if you haven't done fraud is to basically appeal your case through the channel, where basically you go into the policy center and basically you ask for a new test of your thing. And that usually takes anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks, right? Banging on your AM's door doesn't help because they have a Great Wall of China, so they can't speak to the policy team. So unless you know someone who is C-level that is straddling the Chinese wall for the policy team, which has happened to be only once, that actually we were able to get an intro to someone high enough that could just be like, guys, these guys are okay. And then it was done in half an hour, right? That's only happened once. But otherwise, you're just left waiting. And that's the only thing you can do, unfortunately.
Okay. I observed that UA side CPMs increase across games for, let's say, AdWords, but my monetization side CPMs of AdMob don't increase simultaneously. So are the networks making high margins during this time?
Hell yes. Yes. Hell yes.
Do yourself a favor. Google AppLovin EBITDA margins, and then,
there's the answer. There's the answer.
Yeah.
Q3, I'm trying to produce high-performance playable for music game. Any reference, suggestions, insight related to AppLovin channel? We're looking at BeatStar, your blog Creative 2024, but it's quite not popular game
genre
in AppLovin channel.
Yeah. So, yes, BeatStar is good. It doesn't need to be. Why do we need to do it on AppLovin? I mean, you have other channels, right? So
you said it was the best. You just said it was the best.
It's based on iOS. It's the biggest on iOS as well. It doesn't need to work on. I wanted to say, like, there is an asterisk which says it's not all for all genres, but I didn't have time to answer this. But I would say BeatStar and what else? The creative trends are definitely good, but there's not that many playables, and I will need to check. Just join our Slack and we can discuss it there, because this is quite specific.
Okay. Hey, Jakub, could you talk about engagement thickness and what causes people to come back and play the game to help increase day one?
It should be fun. If it's not fun, they will not come back.
Day one is not engagement thickness. This is basically a reflection of your core gameplay. Core gameplay means the basic thing that's there, which means your whatever puzzle level design, your whatever combat mechanic, whatever that you have as the core. Regarding the overall engagement thickness, metagame features that goes into like progressions, gacha systems, map progressions, collectible albums, collectibles, whatever tokens, heroes, I don't know what, PvP metagame, PvE metagame, whatever you have there. But day one, it's basically just core. Just focus on the core. It won't help you with any engagement stickiness if your core is not working. As I said, core itself can carry the day one, day three just by being very good. Q2, how to evaluate iOS campaigns correctly and effective.
Q2 is a question too, not core.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's like it's a question. How to evaluate iOS campaigns correctly and effective. So go to your either MMP or like attribution provider, either if it's Upsware, Singular, or Adjust or whatever. You have the scan reports, and also then you check all the scan data there in those reports. What I usually do is depends on the budget and number of UA channels. But let's say I run Facebook only. I try to do a blended approach. So whatever I spend versus whatever I get, whatever revenue I get. And then let's kind of check the baseline of revenues of what I'm getting, and then adding another channel. Let's run it for, let's say, 1-2 weeks, and then look at the baseline revenue. If it increased, then I'm kind of making money. If it isn't, yeah, let's try something else on the different channel. But you will be kind of good on the day one evaluation of all the campaigns in the scan reporting in the attribution provider. It's quite easy.
Okay. Yeah, sending regards to Manuel, or they need to like you, and sometimes they listen.
Yeah, Manuel, see you in a few days.
See you in a few days, Manuel.
By the way, Manuel, yeah, he pitched actually a good idea about doing a live session there in Cyprus. So
yeah, we'll see.
I'm gonna bring my podcast traveling kit.
Thanks regarding a different idle game with 500 sec levels, but the level to level drop off is around 20%. Would you recommend having short levels for better RPU, or would you this reduce our RVs? If the between level drop off is higher than 5%, you're doing something wrong. That's usually the kind of a golden rule. Like level funnels, there needs to be like 5% max churn between these. So it's either difficulty problem or they're kind of too long or something. Just by making stuff more granular, meaning that rather having one long levels, have 3 levels in succession, which can be completed with the same time, gives the user better feeling of like being progressing faster, because you have this like tap on the back, like you're progressing, just much more frequent. So I would do that.
Like BlockGem 3D, no?
Yeah, exactly. BlockGem has levels in segments. They rather than one giant level, they have like 3. So exactly that. And yeah, for sure, lower than 5% churn between levels. That's like one of the golden rules.
Is there a healthy KPI about average day players start spending in IIPs? It's like, I'm not sure if there is like the healthy.
No. I think 80% of spenders usually show themselves until first 7 days. I think that's
sure, but then
that's
what
not
about
even
match
healthy.
3?
Yeah,
match 3 is different, completely different, right?
It's by genre. Yeah, match 3 people are chronically slow to spend.
I always mention this Battle Legion example where we had in the first 7 days like 80% draws or something, and then the next 20% until we hit 100% took like 11 months.
Yeah.
So the first like front loading the in-apps and conversion to pair was great in the first 7 days, but then it was like super slow.
Like depends on the game. Exactly. Like put the giant difficulty blocker into your funnel, you'll see how people will start playing and how retention will go to shit.
Why don't you guys start your own studio?
Yeah, that's arbitrary questions we get every time.
Yeah. Honestly, we stand always on the shoulder of giants. Like there's a lot of people that we work with, and basically like we know how to do, or at least I know how to do what I do, like the craft, basically, because I worked in studios and networks, right? Basically, I need someone like Jakub, and he's too lazy to do it.
Too lazy to do it. Okay. These two guys are lazy to do it. I'm just waiting for AI to help us out. That's it.
Yeah. No, don't worry.
Yeah.
You'll see something in the future. Don't worry. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
Talked about it quite a lot, honestly, and makes a lot of sense. We just need a programmer, so let us know. A CTO would be good.
Yeah. We need a CTO.
Haaland in gaming. And it's not only Haaland in gaming, but it's also a lot of different celebrities coming into Supercell games. And also
Chris Hemsworth, who is gonna be like
the
currently
Barbarian
on the
Squad
market
Masters. Yeah, I'll
because
see it tomorrow.
He will lose his job, I guess.
No, it's like it's great. I was like, why are you laughing? I'm
Because
yeah.
he can't do like proper job other than Thor, man. Like he lost his contract with Marvel, he can't do shit. Just check the box office.
I don't care. He's
Yeah,
just
who
gonna be
cares?
in.
I
Yeah,
don't care.
he's gonna be in Squad Busters. Yeah, video. It's fine. They're gonna
for
use
sure,
it there.
Yeah.
It's like I don't care. Like it's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
It's
it's
also
gonna be
fun.
fine, of course. It's gonna be super fun.
I have a hard stop in 3 minutes, and I
We
really
have-
want to answer this last question from Senklar. I know I skipped over 3 questions, but basically he asked, "What is the secret to low CPI creatives? How do you actually find what works without massive testing budgets?" Let me answer this, and then Matej can wrap it up, or like, and then we can do the last ones. It's crime, copying, and basically stealing from others. That's how you get low CPIs.
And
you
then-
lie. You steal from what's working, and then you have outraged creatives. So
It's
basically, the
fake ads,
bottom
yeah,
scrape of
yeah.
a human barrel of like emotions.
Yeah.
That's how you get low CPIs.
It's how you get low CPIs, and it's crime, drama, then
Incest.
divorced families, and dying
Freezing
freezing families, and all of this bullshit, which never should be allowed on any of the channels. But yeah, it's actually Felix is very, very true. It's very correct.
Yeah, that's the no bullshit answer, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, there's no bullshit answer. So, guys, let me just put this join our Slack channel link into the chat, because then
Really sorry, Shekar Charles, for not getting to, but maybe we can answer that a bit later.
Yeah, because it's kind of already. We should wrap.
JR
this.
needs to go to bed. You
We
can
should
clearly hear
we
it.
should wrap this up because it's already nearing the 1 hour mark. Maybe one more. Weirdly.
I need to go, unfortunately.
Yeah, go.
So yeah, I need to
Just
hop out.
go.
Felix
We'll
can
wrap
go.
up and then see you later. Wrap up and see you later. What do we have here? Jakub, some tips to improve the core loop.
Yeah, as I said, like feel free to join the Slack channel there in the game design one especially. But core loop improvement is literally depending on your core loop itself. So it's kind of core loop specific. Can't really say if I don't see the core loop, but simplify. That's the golden rule always. Simplify, make things easier to get, more approachable, more easier to learn. Put attention budget out of player's head into the game. Rather than giving player choices, do it for him so he can just enjoy the fun. You want to do the last one there, Matej? How to A/B test in the low volume of installs, especially for IP numbers, is hell. Can check pre-post metrics, but several times the installs quality vary, so couldn't get inside.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we discussed the statistical significance. So if you have lower than 100 installs per day, then you can't measure shit. So I mean,
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. In terms of for IIP numbers, it's the same. Yeah, you need to have certain amount of users per day. I'm thinking just out loud. If I run like purchase campaigns, and with these types of data, I would maybe change the purchase optimization to mobile app install plus purchase, so you have a little bit less lower CPIs, but still can get some purchases. Anyway, so yeah, join the Slack. Honestly, thank you very much for coming, because I think we didn't have this amount of questions in the previous 2 AMAs, which is great. Together. So thank you very much again for coming. See you next month. And also, whoever is in Cyprus this week, let us know. We're going to be there from Thursday until Saturday, because there is a GDCY conference. Thank you very much for coming. See you later. Cheers.
See ya.
Bye-bye.